Hello, welcome back to Collector Creations. In this video we're talking about an actual collection. I know, that's something I do on the occasion, it's been a while. This was actually suggested by a subscriber of mine at the movie market I was at the other week, who came by, who was wearing, lo and behold, the same t-shirt. I'm pretty sure it was him at least. I mean, it would make sense that the guy who was wearing the Godzilla shirt said, hey, you should do a Godzilla collection video. I haven't done one for 3 years. I'm thinking, I don't think I've updated that much. And then I realized, actually, I have. So I have fished out every single DVD, Blu-ray, Steelbook, Deluxe Premium, fucking Criterion, every book, every comic book, every pop vinyl, every figurine, t-shirt. I got a lot of t-shirts. I got all of it. So let's dive into it. I'll try to section this by things. We'll start with figurines, then we'll go to books, then we'll go to t-shirts, then we'll go to physical media, as in, obviously, Blu-rays and DVDs. So if you're only interested in that section, skip to the end. But this is the whole kit and caboodle. For context, this is the week that the Criterion version of Godzilla vs. Biollante has come out on Blu-ray. I have not put in an order for it yet. It is expensive. It's like $75 Australian dollars for the 4K. So I'm going to wait. Maybe it'll be a nice birthday gift from someone who likes me. Who I don't know. Let's hope. So let's start with the figurines. I'll start with maybe one of my rarest. It's a pop vinyl. I don't have many of these anymore. But this is the glow-in-the-dark pop vinyl, the New York Comic-Con exclusive. It's technically meant to be the Ghost Godzilla from the 54 film. But yeah, he just completely glows in the dark. It's pretty cool. It's worth a couple $100. It's crazy. I have them all in protectors because I'm not stupid. Then we have the Atomic Breath version. There is going to be obviously a reflection of the camcorder. I apologize for that. Again, plastic case. It's just the regular looking Godzilla, but his claws are blue, and his eyes are blue, and his mouth is blue, and it all glows in the dark. It's pretty neat. It's not really accurate when you think about it. Why would his fingernails glow? But who cares? It looks pretty neat. To be fair, I kind of prefer it over them not glowing, if that makes sense. So, whereas ironically, the other one, it's the polar opposite to the other glow-in-the-dark one. The other glow-in-the-dark one, its nails and teeth don't glow, and its eyes don't glow, but this one's, they do, which is interesting. It's an interesting contrast. And last, for pop vinyls, we do have the other New York Comic Con exclusive, which is just the black and white variant. It's basically just the original version of Godzilla, obviously represented from the original film. They did do a new set for the anniversary last year, including a Shin Godzilla one from 54, one from another year. I think they did a -1 release as well, but I don't buy pop vinyls anymore, so I have not bought them. Also, these are 6-inch tall figures, so that's crazy. I did buy, at the time, when I was collecting them, the, Godzilla vs. Kong ones and whatever, but I don't have those anymore because I sold them because I don't buy them anymore. However, I do have a lot of other figures, so we'll start with the smallest ones. The smallest Godzilla. Shin Godzilla. This is the first Shin Godzilla figure I had, and until this year was the only one I had. He is a keychain. Look at the little baby. He looks like a charred turd, or what would happen if you left a toy out in the sun, in the Australian sun, for about, an hour. Just completely cooked. It doesn't look great, and obviously you can see it doesn't look great just from the look of it. It's still got the feel of it, though, I'll give it that. I don't know, his face is probably the best distinction about him, because everything else is kind of a weird mush, like a little tumor, which kind of makes sense, it's fitting for the character. But he does have tiny little teeth, and tiny little eyes, if it'll focus. See, he's got tiny little teeth, look at that shit. Isn't that crazy? Anyway, his tail is also long. I got this in Japan. Some of these things will be from Japan, because I went to Japan in 2019. Anyway, okay, we have a finger puppet. Actually, also from Japan. That was not intentional. I was going to go to things that weren't from Japan currently. But this is a little finger puppet of Mothra, which counts. Mothra's in the same universe. You put your finger and it's in the hole. Wow. This was a mystery box. My brother bought this for me when he was in Japan last year, and so I happened to get the fucking Mothra thing. Little grubby Mothra. And to be fair, I love Mothra, but that's crazy. Actually, there are 3 of these, more Funkos. This is a mystery box thing where you can get potentially the fire one is black fire, but I just got the regular red fire one. This is kind of meant to be a color accurate version of Godzilla. These are all little Funko minis. Came as a 3-pack, so you get your regular standard Godzilla. You see this one and the kind of greenish one, and then you open up the box and you get the fiery one, because that's the mystery. So, yeah, I just have these. We've got a figure of the Tokyo Tower, one of those puzzle ones that you build. I've always got one of these guys next to it, just because I figure that kind of looks a bit funny, and also, it's just appropriate. More mystery box ones, we have Anguirus. He was a mystery box figure that I got, which, to be fair, I don't mind, because I don't have an Anguirus figure, and I hate his name, but because it's just weird to pronounce. But yeah, I got a little Anguirus. The same lot I got Mothra, so that was nice. I like Mothra. So it's actually got a surprising paint job. I think this is also Funko. I can't see the copyright. Yeah, Funko from 2024. I guess I do have more Funkos, Jesus. But obviously not traditional pop vinyls. These are like just standard mystery box ones that can be cheap, and probably very much so are. 2 that aren't cheap from U2s. Remember when that was a brand? I mean, it still exists, but they just do random shit now. It's not just YouTubers. I got a Godzilla bundle. They did have Mechagodzilla and Ghidorah, but I just got these 2 because at the time I didn't have a Mothra. You can see the logo there. I didn't have a Mothra at the time, so trying to get the camera to focus, not on my face. This is not how I would like to show off figurines, but it is what it is. And, you know, Godzilla because he's got a train, and Mothra because it's just fucking cool. A lot more expensive than the Funko ones, and enough differences as well. So I'll give it that. But yeah, it's just nice to have Mothra figures. I'll give it that. Ghidorah just looked too yellow, and Mechagodzilla just looked too fake. I would love a Showa era Mechagodzilla though. Now, my brother also has another Godzilla. This is actually his, but I just wanted to show off the context. This is a little display figure. You can get a Godzilla. It's basically, I'd say Heisei era Godzilla. It looks more like the Heisei era version of Godzilla. My brother has 2 Godzilla figures. One of them is actually a little, like, welcome hello thing. You know how they've got those little cats with the wavy arms at like a Chinese restaurant or whatever. In this case, for a lot of Japanese ones, they have signs, and you can actually flip the sign so it's in Japanese or it's in English, and it's a Godzilla, and it's solar paneled. But this is just a figure. That's just in his room. I'm not going to go into his room and fetch it out. This one just lives in the theater room because I stole it. But it isn't mine. It is his, and it is from Bandai, 2004. But it is the 1989 one. So it is Biollante, which is really funny. I mean, as it is, I know I should have emphasized it. The title actually is there on the plaque saying Godzilla vs. Biollante, which I should know better to read the kanji. I assume it's kanji, but I can't read that language. Then we get to the bigger figures. Some of these are NECA. I'll try to figure out the brands if I can. If not, I apologize. This was one of the first, if not the first, Godzilla figure I think I ever bought. I got this one in Japan, so I don't know where he's from. Brand-wise, it just says Bandai, so Bandai, if you want to be more letter about it. He's just a standard, look, I'm Godzilla from, like, the original film. I'm pretty sure he's not from the original film. I think he's 1984, like Return of Godzilla, because of how comic his expression is. I say that only because I have a t-shirt with the exact same kind of expression on his face. But, you know, his legs move, his arms move, his tail can move, probably just so it can pop off and pop back on again. But, you know, it's a very light figure, but it's still a good 6-7 inches or something tall, which is fine, you know. Why not? No atomic breath, but that's okay. Just a cute little dude. Perfect kind of guy to have bought in Japan because he was just the most basic one I found, and also exceedingly light. This one is, it just says from Toho, from Vietnam, apparently. This is the, you know, Godzilla from Destroyer. They did have two versions of this. They've got some of these for the Godzilla -1 as well, from like Godzilla X Kong and stuff like that. These kind of figures, they're not uncommon to find if you go to a lot of figurine shops. There's two versions. This is just the non-standard version. But it tells you on the box which one you're getting. I just wanted to get this one because I really like the look of it. I actually bought this one initially for my friend, who loves, him and I both love Godzilla, and he actually loves this figure, like this type, the, again, Destroyer version of Godzilla. And when I found one again a couple months later, I was like, I'm going to buy one for myself as well, because the standard version just doesn't have the paint job. He just looks exactly the same, but without the orange paint. And I just kind of like that it has orange paint. It just makes it more distinct. I think this one's 1985 Godzilla. His face just doesn't scream it. I think this is Return of Godzilla. It's just that the poster is more accurate to the actual other figure that I have. This is a NECA one. There's so many different shapes and styles, but I think it's more because the dorsal fins are more accurate to that version. My older brother found this at a market, and bought it for me for my birthday. Obviously, he asked me, he's like, hey, do you have this guy? I said, no, that's actually the 1985 Godzilla. I don't have that one. I don't think he comes with an atomic breath, but, you know, his mouth opens, his head moves. It's the regular NECA thing where every inch of him fucking moves, even his tail, which is really long and flat near the end, which is a bit weird because of the ball there and everything, so if you want to sit him down, he kind of has to sit very strangely. I don't like it that much, because he bends over, he hunches a lot, but it was a freebie because it was a birthday gift, so I'll take it. This one was, for the longest time, my favourite Godzilla figure, which he still has the atomic breath installed. This is from, it's from the Millennium series, where it's Godzilla against, like, it might be Giant Monsters All Out Attack or something like that. Maybe GMK, I think it's called. It's the one where Godzilla comes back and he's evil, and like Mothra and Ghidorah and a couple others have to fight him. And he just fucking destroys. I remember watching that last year for the 70th anniversary, and it was just so beautiful. I hadn't seen it for years. And to see it on the big screen was amazing. So it's the same tail structure, but this one's got the shiny dorsal fins, of course, because he's, you know, shooting his blue atomic breath, and he just looks fucking awesome. Like, I love how the paint reflects the, you know, the blue of it all, of the atomic breath. His feet are big hoofters and everything. This one is one of my favorites, and also his eyes are purely white, so, you know, like how in the poster in the film, he's the same way. So it's just, it's a good fucking Godzilla figure. Pardon a lot of French. Jumping a little bit forward in time, we got Godzilla. This one actually has a little box for his tail because of how, I guess, poorly made it is. It just came with that. This is obviously Godzilla -1. They had two versions of these. It's the same place I bought the, I think it's not Miniso. It's one of those places that's like a Japanese kind of pop culture store in the city. They got one at Chadstone, they got one at Melbourne Central. They got a couple of them around. It's not Miniso, but it's something else. Anyway, yeah, they had this guy. My main reason to get him was the dorsal fins because, like, I looked up a video, they had two different versions, actually three. They had the black version, which is basically what this is, the black and white version, so he's a bit more grayscaled because minus color. And then they had this version where his mouth and eyes are blue, metallic-y blue. Obviously a paint job, and you got the same metallic blue down the dorsal fins, but then you got those main dorsal fins are like translucent blue, and it just, I looked up some videos, I'm like, damn, that looks so fucking nice, and I just didn't have a figure of -1, so I bought this, and honestly, I think it works really nicely. They all are around the same size, and I like how, again, this one still looks distinctly different to the other one that has the glowing blue, so I'll give it that. Then we get to what was my biggest one for the longest time, and my heaviest, which he does also come from Atomic Breath. I don't know where it is. I think another one came with, I think this one in '84 came with Atomic Breath. This is the Biollante one. This is the big boy, because he's got a big-ass tail, and he's just gigantic. More tail, spine, everything, than actual head and body. There's not too much to show off about this one. He, again, his mouth is open and everything. He's very movable because he's NECA branded. And again, one of my favorites. Was my favorite for the longest time. Well, at least my favorite version of Godzilla. The other one, the GMK one, I fucking love. But yeah. But of course, my most recent purchase, which, you know, comes with his little sign template, which again, don't even know the brand of, but the box is right there. It's this one from the Hyper Solid range. Yeah, just Toho branded, made in China. It's obviously the big Shin Godzilla, who does not stay in box. Is this guy... Actually, I think this guy isn't as heavy as the Biolante one, which is crazy, because this guy's double his size. For some contrast... Woof. That's pretty leveled out. That's the contrast in terms of size. Obviously, this guy is huge in contrast. They're like facing each other. There's no like, wow, he's so much bigger. See, I'm not doing forced perspective. This guy is insanely well detailed. If you don't have a Shin Godzilla figure, this is like the one to get. There's no like movable aspects or, you know, atomic breaths or anything. You get a different head, but it just unsplits the mouth. So obviously you have the split mouth there. Obviously he looks insane. These are all translucent dorsal fins as well. There's a purple version, which I probably would have preferred, but I got in too late, and this is a version I got. And to be fair, I really like this version anyway, because he just represents exactly what this... Even his tail is really well detailed. This is exactly what Shin Godzilla normally looks like, you know, with his just grotesque look. Like, this camera does not do it justice, but every single wrinkle, every single crease, every single muscle dynamic, it just looks like a huge tumor, and it is insanely detailed. So yeah, this is my big boy. He's the expensive one that has a good spot on the wall over there above a bunch of Blu-rays, and he's just big. He's not that heavy though. Like, he's heavy, but he just... I don't know, his box is huge, which is unnecessary. However, that's the figurines done. I will note collector's books. I have these 3 table, like coffee table sized books. I think it's 3. I think it's Kong Skull Island, Godzilla vs. Kong, and Godzilla King of the Monsters. Big coffee table books. They're currently like so far up on my in my room on my bookshelf, and like all stacked on top of each other because I have so many of them. I don't have a coffee table. Well, I mean, I guess I technically do, but you know, if I got my own place, I'd have a coffee table. Let's move on to the rest of the books. I'm pretty sure this is all of my books. We start with a manga. Strange one to start with, but it's just really cool. It's got Mechagodzilla in it, and that one guy from that one movie who I can never remember. Is that Space Godzilla? I think it is, actually. This is actually signed. I just bought it in Japan. I looked up the translations, like my cousin who lives in Japan was able to translate it. It's basically just like the guys who did the artwork, because this is a release that came out at a specific event, and yeah, it was just signed automatically. It's just one of the many issues of a series. I can't even remember what it's called. It has some interesting artwork, to say the least. You know, it's nice. I can't read it because it's not in English, and occasionally I'll flip through it and be like, wow, that's cool, you know. But obviously, as you can see there, none of it's in English. So, yeah, there are English versions, of course. It's just that I bought it in Japan, so of course it's not going to be in English. But that's like, that's the guy. He's been stomped on by Godzilla, by Mechagodzilla, Anguirus. I've got that figurine. So yeah, this is like 1954 version of Mechagodzilla, which is really cool. So, yeah, it's just nice to have it. It doesn't really benefit me in any way. It just looks really cool, you know. It's just cool artwork. There's Mechagodzilla with, Mechaghidorah, bunch of other artwork for like different cover variants and stuff like that. So, yeah, it's just nice to have. This past Christmas, my brother's partner actually got me this. It was a surprise gift, which I was like, really surprised by it because I didn't expect it at all. I had to look through my Godzilla books to make sure I didn't have it. But this is Godzilla History of Formative Arts, 1954 to 2016. There's a reason I didn't buy this myself, which is basically because it's a montage of images. Mostly, some of them are behind the scenes, some of them are just stills from the movie, just expanded out. It's so big and so heavy that it's really, really hard to actually like show it off in a video. You know, you do get the benefit of some nice looking Godzilla pictures, mostly from the first film, but then of course as it goes along it shows you more from different years. Oh, my mate Phil would love this. That's Ibira, Horror of the Deep, because he's a crab man. Love the crab dude. Oh, everyone's favorite, Son of Godzilla. Even Godzilla's pissed off at him just from existing. I love it. But that's all that this is. It's just stills from either the movies or just from behind the scenes pictures. Obviously different sections. This is 75, Terror of Mechagodzilla. And yeah, it just does that all the way until, you know, you get your Burning Godzilla. It's not bad. It is just pictures from the movies. So it's nice to have them in good quality. So that's nice. Yeah, so you've got Tokyo SOS as well. What was that other one called? Oh, here's the one. I found that Godzilla who has a fucked up face. See, it's got like various images of that one Godzilla. Oh, that's nice. They've actually got a model showing you what he looks like as a model. Sorry, I'm trying to not kick over my goddamn tripod. 2001. Oh, GMK, Godzilla, Mothra, King Ghidorah, Giant Monsters All Out Attack. I was right. From 2001. And then, of course, the last one is Shin Godzilla. And then we get to the official guide to the King of the Monsters. These are both pretty recent releases within the past 5 to 6 years, I think. This one's from 2022. I think the other one's from like maybe the same year or whatever. So this one just goes through all of the movies. It's not all stills, but it does have a lot of different images and behind the scenes. It's a much better format for how to look at it, because it's a nicer texture. It's an easier read. A lot of great images. A lot of images that make you remind you that you, oh my god, are not a child anymore. What the fuck are these movies? Holy shit. It's just pictures of fucking Godzilla and shit. Remember when Godzilla had a different looking kid? Actually, I don't even think that was a different looking kid. I think that was just Godzilla, but younger. My god, these movies are insane. Yeah, this is mostly... Oh. Okay, so it does at least give you some context on the films. Hedorah, my favorite one. Love him. I would love a fucking Hedorah figure. Got some great shots in there as well. Overall, this is just a really fucking nice book. You know, has different images for the poster for each film. Tells you about the monster, everything. I think it's... What years is it? Showa, Heisei, Millennium, Reiwa, American era, and Godzilla and other era. So, yeah. It's pretty good. It's only like 260 odd pages, so, you know, and it's got some nice, easy spine to read. It's got a nice texture to the front. I actually have it on my piano, just sitting like that, next to a physical media thing that I'll show off in a minute. Now we get to t-shirts. So, of course, I have my Uniqlo shirt on. It's my regular one. I like it because it's white and it's simple. It was actually just a gift from my mum, actually. It just has Godzilla's name there. It's an image from the first film. It's generic enough. It's very safe bet. It's always one of those great things when you come home and your mother's just like, hey, here's a Godzilla shirt I bought. There you go. I'm like, oh, fuck yeah. And then I have a lot. I have a stack. I'll try to show them all off to the best of my ability. A lot of these are going to be Rocking Fountain. I'll tell you when. This one is Rocking Fountain, Godzilla vs. Hedorah. It's actually the limited edition version. It's like 125 units. It's just a different color coding. And it's grey. I like the grey ones. Greys are a nice color on me. Also just kind of brings out the texture a bit more. I like it. I don't know, it's weird. Another Uniqlo. Some of these will be creased because I haven't worn them in a long time. I have a lot of t-shirts. This one is Godzilla vs. Mothra. Well, Mothra vs. Godzilla. It's purple on purple. My favourite colour. Twice. I prefer the lighter purple, obviously. But it has Mothra there. I think it's got a... It doesn't actually have an image of Godzilla. But yeah. This one I actually stole from my brother. I say stole, but he was going to get rid of this. It's a Godzilla shirt from Japan. It's got the little Godzilla icon that's like on all the DVDs. It's Hikeshi's Spirit. It actually is to do with a castle. It's, a lot of Japanese shirts are like this, where the back of it will have the design. So it has this design at the base, and then the middle of it, the back of the shirt is actually that. It's at Kanazawa Castle. So, yeah. Anyway, that's a nice one that I nicked from him. I say nicked, I didn't actually steal it from him. Basically, my brother was going to throw it out because he outgrew them. He bulks up and stuff like that, so, the regular human experience. One of my oldest Godzilla shirts. I believe this is the same one as the 84 one. Yeah, I don't even know where I got this. It doesn't have a tag on it, so if you're ever curious, I get one of these, which I've worn a couple of times. I do get a lot of people asking me about. I've had so many comments about it. It is really funny because I've got a hell of a story behind it. This is the regular version of that Godzilla vs. Hedorah one. Yes, I bought two. I hardly wear this one. It's just got the actual accurate colours and everything. And they are just the Japanese posters, so it kind of makes sense. The Rocking Fountain is a brand that I buy a lot of my t-shirts from. They are not cheap. Which is annoying, because I like buying them. They're usually like really nice textures and stuff, but it's mostly like posters from movies. Clearly, I like posters from movies on my t-shirts. I've been buying their shirts now for like the past 2 years. It's concerning. I'm not counting how many shirts there are here. I'm going to leave that to me in the edit. This is one of my first ever Godzilla shirts. This is the one that people ask me about. It's actually a thick blue texture. This one is just the original poster. There is no official, it just says Godzilla on the inside. This one I got at a vendor, technically. It was my first day in Japan, because it was in 2019, the Godzilla King of the Monsters film had just come out, the 2019 one, obviously, which Dad and I proceeded to see there because that seemed the most appropriate, and I was fucking excited. Only ever time I've actually enjoyed that film. However, they had this pop-up booth at one of the stations in Tokyo, the train stations on the ground, and they just had a booth there, and they had a big Godzilla statue, which is from the 2014 film, from the 2019 film, and I got a photo in front of that. But they had some figurines and stuff, and they had the t-shirt, and I'm like, I'm going to buy that t-shirt, and I ended up washing it like later that day, and then wore it a couple of days later. It was fucking awesome. It's a great shirt. I hardly wear it, but I did wear it recently, actually, last year for the 70th anniversary, one that had the screening at the Astor. This is my Shin Godzilla shirt from Rocking Fountain. It's very minute on its design because I don't know how much the lining, that should help, I think. But you can actually see Shin pretty nicely. There's enough texture and detail on there to tell you who he is. It says Shin Godzilla. They always have the English name somewhere on the shirts, but that was another Rocking Fountain. And Rocking Fountain, they do everything in timed drops. This is just for context. I'm not trying to plug them at all, but I occasionally get people asking, like, where do you get that stuff from? And I'm like, oh, it's from Rocking Fountain. The problem is it's timed drops, and they don't really, like, I say timed, like a limited drop for like 3 days of a weekend every couple of weeks, and it'll be different film or TV show or something each week. And one week they have archival drops, and I was lucky that in one of the archival drops I got the Shin Godzilla shirt. So yeah, which is also worth noting because that's where I got this one from, which is my last of the shirts. It is Godzilla -1. This is just because I didn't have a -1 shirt. It is just a big paw print. Yeah, it's pretty simple. Godzilla -1 on the bottom, dude in the middle. Another Rocking Fountain. This one, again, from the most recent archival bundle. They actually did have a drop of this for this particular release last year. They do collab drops occasionally. I think this was with Ghost. He did the Hedorah one as well, but I waited for the specific, archival drops. I think at the time of the Hedorah one, I hadn't seen Hedorah, and then I did, and I'm like, I want that Hedorah shirt. So I bought two. Okay. That's all the I'm probably missing a couple of shirts. There's always more shirts. I have so many Godzilla shirts, it's fucked. I have a lot of t-shirts. Let's talk about physical media. That's what we're all here for, isn't it? We're a physical media channel. We want the physical media. I'll start with the obvious, out the gate one. We've got the big boy. The Showa era set, Criterion, which, whoa, it has a lot of things inside it. Woo. Got a bumper sticker, a Twin Peaks poster, oh my god. This one is just the big release that has all these individual artwork pieces, you know, essays on each film. I love how it's just got different artwork per release. You skip to the back, and you get to the DVD section. Obviously, yes, it is currently empty. I've taken out all the discs because I have learned, not the hard way, I just learned through Reddit that they do slide out eventually if it's like, if you're in a humid environment or whatever. So I put them all into a different package, so let's go look at that. You know, every once in a while I feel like I have more things to show off. I spent like an hour yesterday grabbing all this stuff. This is my extra case. I have not grabbed the artwork for it yet. I've had this case like this for about 2 years. It is stupid of me to not have a like artwork for it, but it is just the discs in a case. They're all the Region B discs because I got the British version. I think I got on Amazon for sale, but yeah, that's literally it. My only complaint with this Criterion set is disc 3 with Mothra vs. Ghidorah, Ghidorah, the three-headed monster, and Invasion of the Astro Monster. It's the only, I think it was one of 2 of the discs that had like a line that would keep popping up every single time I cut to a different shot, because again, Toho didn't allow proper restorations of these films. I've heard differently for Biollante, so I'm excited for that. But it was just the problem. And for Mothra vs. Godzilla, I believe it was, and Astro Monster, I actually went to my DVD set, but I had to watch the three-headed, like, Ghidorah, the three-headed monster, through this. It looked fine, it was still good, and it's my favorite of those 3 films, and it's such a fucking good Godzilla film. It just sucks that the Blu-ray transfer isn't perfect. There's also the UHD for Godzilla, the original one from Criterion as well, which eventually I'll get the UHD for. I've already got the current 4K scan on the Blu-ray disc, which I'm very happy with, so I have seen it twice in cinema, though. I guess another Blu-ray, we have Shin Godzilla. This is actually secretly a 2-pack. I have Shin Godzilla and Return of Godzilla. Ironically, the same movie, when you think about it. Yeah, this is the Australian Madman release. Region B, I believe. Yeah, standard 5.1 Japanese mix. I don't have the 4K of this film. Again, I think the 4K was either German or Japanese exclusive, so, which sucks because this film would look amazing on 4K. I only have 1984 just for space, because my shelves that I keep all the Godzilla ones on is just one small little shelf, and I don't have the space for the extra case for Godzilla 1984, so yeah, for reference sake, obviously this is the 84 one. It is the American release, but it is Kraken releasing. It is all regions. If I'm not mistaken, it says in English and in Japanese with English subtitles. So if you want 1984 and you're in Australia, for example, this is the best one to go for. There's not too much else to look at. DTS Master Audio for 511 for English and for Japanese, English subtitles, 103 minutes long. Oh, it is Region A, sorry, my bad, I didn't see it there. Region A, it's an American Blu-ray, of course it's Region A. Another Region A one is the, I'm going in the weirdest fucking order for these Blu-rays, but you know, Godzilla 2000, this is the only other one I would recommend if you are from Australia or the UK and you need the American one. This is the only one I would really recommend because it comes with both the US and Japanese versions. I am actually yet to see the Japanese version. It is actually still in its case, which is... Oh, no, it isn't. That's the DVD. Oh, I'm stupid. Anyway, it just comes with both versions. The Japanese version is 107 minutes long. The US is 99. I've only ever seen the US version twice because I'm a fucking idiot. But I'll tell you why in a second. My DVD stacks. This is why. Because the Heisei series, I think... No, the Millennium series for the Eastern Eye release from Madman has the US cut. But let's look at the rest of them. So we start off with, these are apparently really out of print too, so quite expensive. This is Showa Classics Volume 1. It comes with 6 films: Godzilla, Mothra vs. Godzilla, Invasion of the Astro Monster, Versa-Bira, Son of Godzilla, and Destroy All Monsters. For the longest time, I only ever had Destroy All Monsters on DVD. This is Region 4. I had them on DVD for that one DVD. I remember it too so distinctly. I will give it props for having disc artwork as well. Which is cool. The disc artwork's really nice because it actually, it has a really icky still from the movie, but it does at least have these little icons, and the icons are actually all of the monsters. I don't know if it'll show it really well there. It's better on the Final Wars disc because it has so many fucking monsters. It does have reversible artwork, which is interesting. It just gets rid of the rated M sticker. But yeah, there's not much for special features, so it's not bad. These are good basic sets, but it's not the complete thing, and that always annoyed me. I say not the complete thing despite having Showa Era Volume 2, which has Attack All Monsters, Godzilla vs. Hedorah, Godzilla vs. Gigan, Godzilla vs. Megalon, Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla, and Terror of Mechagodzilla. So, again, Region 4. I do like how it has all the posters. I hardly ever watched these as a kid. I think I got some of these set. I didn't actually have these sets as a kid, now that I think about it. Got different artwork and everything. I got these in my teens, if I'm not mistaken. I happened to find them all at JB whilst they were still at retail price, which is obviously great now because they're out of print. But yeah, I had no idea for the longest time that there were any differences. Actually, that's really noteworthy when I point out the Heisei series. This was the real humdinger, because I watched the Heisei series in my late high school, early uni days, and I really loved the Heisei series, and of course, you get 5 movies. Wow, that must be all of them, totally, 10 out of fucking 10. It isn't all of them. It's not even the first 2. It's just the 90s films. So, Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah, the 3rd film, versus Mothra versus Mechagodzilla 2, versus Space Godzilla, and versus Destroyer. It doesn't have 1984, The Return of Godzilla, which gives you the fucking context for the whole series, or Biollante. How fucking annoying is that? So I had to find them separately, because for the longest time, I didn't understand Godzilla, like the King Ghidorah one. Also, I don't really like the King Ghidorah one that much. If anything, outside of Space Godzilla being a piece of shit, they're the weakest 2 of the Heisei series. Like, I can still watch King Ghidorah, but I can't watch Space Godzilla. It's fucking awful. But the rest of them are great. First, Mothra is one of the fucking best ones. It's one of my absolute favorites. It's an Indiana Jones ripoff. You got Mothra, you got Batra. It is fucking insane. I know I'd seen all of these ones in my high school days, like high school uni days, but I definitely hadn't seen all the Showa era. I didn't watch all of them until last year, which I did do a whole video talking about every single Showa film. Oh my god, I can't believe I have to plug. I hate plugging my own videos, it's cringe. I know that you can actually peel this off, which I really should. It's one of those stickers on the top. Problem is, you gotta really reach underneath it. Wow. Oh god, the amount of dirt that's just in between those layers. Oh, that's crazy. That kind of makes it look worse in a way. But, oh, that tore off some of the artwork. Great. I tore some of the art. Fuck. This wasn't expensive. This was like a $30 DVD. This was the US DVD. It's Region 1. Godzilla vs. Biollante. I've seen this twice now on DVD. The Lionsgate Miramax release, which is really funny. This one has the making of Godzilla vs. Biollante and behind the design, as well as the audio has 5.1 DTS Japanese language, 2.0 DTS Japanese language, and 1.0 digital Dolby Digital English language. I think that's the one that it automatically goes to, because it is, of course, the American release. And subtitles. The subtitles are weird. It has 3 different subtitles tracks. How fucking annoying is that? Subtitles translations of on-screen text. On screen, because it's Japan. subtitles translated from the original Japanese dialogue, and then English SDH subtitled to match the English audio track. So you need two different like subtitle tracks on at all times. The one telling you what the signs mean, and the one that tells you what the fucking people are saying. Either way, I love this movie. One of my favorites. It's one of most people's favorites. That's why I'm so keen for the Criterion release, and probably really stupid of me to have not bought the Criterion release yet. But you know, it is what it is. I know that the Blu-ray of this was like super out of print, and for years people would complain. But then the thing is, and this is the main thing I'm going to say about the Blu-rays, the Blu-rays are basically all DVD upscales. Like any of the Blu-rays that aren't the Criterion releases are upscaled. It's not bad. Like the 1984 release looks fine, but it's not that much better. Like again, that's why I only really have for the Blu-rays the of the Millennium series. How have I ruined this? Yeah, the only one I really recommend would be, you have to get the 1984 release. I was gonna say you have to if you want. If you don't have the Madman, if you have the Madman set, you have to get the 1984 release separately. The only one I would recommend on Blu-ray outside of the Criterions is the 2000 Millennium release, because it has the Japanese cut and the American cut. It's so difficult to get some of these films. This is the only complete set I have, the Millennium series, which is mental. It comes with all 6, Godzilla 2000, which again is just the American cut, first Mechagodzilla, GMK, Mechagodzilla 3, Tokyo SOS, and Final Wars. Yeah. Again, mad respect for it to still have. This one I actually did watch all as a kid. I remember watching these ones in my youth, in my days. But I did have I remember talking about it earlier in the video, I'm sorry. The Destroy All Monsters, I had it on DVD. I watched it countless times as a kid because it was the only one we had. And it was either a VHS or a DVD. But we don't have it anymore. I haven't had it for years. I don't know where it is. I think once I got these sets, I just got rid of it because I didn't need to have it anymore. Because I had the film on DVD anyway. So, yeah. Anyway, that's the Blu-ray for 2000 because I put it there. And the rest of them are just the standard Blu-rays that you get. And, of course, Final Wars with its beautiful artwork comes with, as you can see on the side there, every single fucking monster. There are so many. They go around here. Actually, that's just the logos. So many monsters. I love it. It's crazy how this was the only set that actually came as a full set. If we're talking more basic releases for DVD Blu-ray sets, Godzilla 98. I hate it as well, but I have the 4K. I don't think I ever had this on DVD as a kid. Maybe VHS. Not uncommon to find now, but it was also the only other Godzilla film I ever watched as a kid. And I really liked it, because you see giant monster and also a lot of fish. It's funny and also bad. But as a kid, you love it. I got Godzilla 2014 as a standard Blu-ray. I've actually replaced the case because this is a broken case. Because I just don't use this anymore. I don't know why I still have it, but I think it's just one of those, just in case Dad wants it if I move out. That's the same for this, King of the Monsters on 4K. This was the first one I bought for it, Godzilla 2, King of the Monsters. The 4K disc actually doesn't work. It has like a skipping issue where it skips occasionally. But it doesn't matter too much to me because I actually have alternatives. I don't know why. I say I don't know why. I fucking know why, because I bought them. We have steelbooks after this, so I'll show the last. This isn't even a standard, obviously. It's the deluxe version for Godzilla -1. This whole box set, which looks incredible and so annoying at the same time. You get the thick booklet. You get the inside release, which obviously looks great. I'm actually yet to fully watch the 4K. I did watch part of it when I did my review. And I also still haven't checked to see if the special features have subtitles. I'm so good at my job. Anyway, this J card is falling out, which is annoying. 4-disc release, 4K, Blu-ray, Blu-ray of minus color, and the special features bonus disc, of course. Yeah. I really should have actually looked to see if the... because there's a bunch of making of the film, making of the visual effects, behind the scenes, all that stuff, but it doesn't actually stipulate whether they're actually in English. It just says English audio's in Japanese and English, subtitles English, French, Italian, but it doesn't tell you about the bonus features. 90 minutes of bonus features, and I have no idea if they have subtitles. That's obviously -1, which I got because 4K, and minus color, because it just looks great. I got it from JB. It's a beautiful set. So then we get to the Monsterverse, the American side. American. These are all steelbooks. This is why I said I have alternatives, baby, because I got steelbooks. Godzilla 2014. 4K Blu-ray set. This is the one with the fixed colors for the 4K UHD. It looks fucking incredible. Audio is stellar. Really good release. Mostly just got it so I could have it on 4K. There is a standard Australian version which actually comes without a steelbook, but it doesn't come with Blu-ray. But it's just a standard version. I know that exists now in Australia. Kong Skull Island. The first time I bought it was a steelbook release. Standard Blu-ray, not a 4K release. I'm happy enough with the Blu-ray. I can't be fucking a 4K. Mostly it's an upscale, but they didn't have any obviously issues like they did for Godzilla. And also it just looks nice as steelbook. Same goes for this one, which is King of the Monsters. I actually bought this one on Facebook Marketplace. And that's how I found out, because my 4K, I was watching it, skipped some scenes. You know, it would have some stutters and play up and whatever. And I think it still has those problems, but I bought the 4K steelbook. If I'm not mistaken, no, this is the one that does have the right disc, because the other one was buried on the shelf. So this has the right disc that you can watch. And also, it just looks fucking cool. Like, it is a nice steelbook for in my mind, not a great film. Oh no. Godzilla vs. Kong. I swear I had a second steelbook of this. I must have sold it. Anyway, which is probably good. Godzilla vs. Kong. You know, fine steelbook as it is. 4K Blu-ray set, standard stuff. They're all in protectors because I just like to have them protected, nice and safe little babies. And then Godzilla X Kong GXK. This one still has its J card attached. Not actually attached, just I haven't folded it up and put it inside like I usually do. I actually haven't rewatched this since the cinema, so I don't even know if the 4K works yet, but this is the 4K Blu-ray set because it's one of those things in Australia where most of the films will only have a 4K disc and they won't have a Blu-ray. You have to get them separately, but the steelbooks will have both discs. And given I'd been going with steelbooks for the rest of the series, I'm like, I guess I'll just buy a steelbook set. I'll just buy the next steelbook. Now, in all fairness, if I wanted to, I could always just sell all the steelbooks off and then buy, like, the big Monsterverse pack that they have. But that is, like, only 4K. I think they still have the Blu-ray special features, but they're only on 4K. But it is a lot slimmer and takes up less room, but it's not as pretty. I like these Monsterverse sets individually. And then one that I'm actually still have on my eBay. Godzilla X Kong, the Manta Lab. Yeah, it's the lenticular cover of them fighting, which is nice. It's a nice steelbook set in general. Obviously, it has its art cards and J card and everything. It has an exclusive looking steelbook. I'm not going to bother to show it off. I did do a video on it, so if I've ever got a playlist at the end of this video, or I'll just have a specific link to just this video over there at the end of the video. So if you want to deep dive into that, or just look up my video for the Godzilla vs. Kong Manta Lab. I don't want it anymore. I'm trying to sell it off, but still. Yeah, and that's when you'd be thinking, Julian, that's got to be all, right? You can't have any more Blu-rays, right? Wrong. I used to buy from Zavvi back in the day. Oh, remember Zavvi? The guys who fucked over Arrow? I bought this. I've had this for a long time now. This is actually how I watch some of them on... Oh, I do have them on 4K. Oh, I'm a fucking idiot. I do have Kong on 4K. This is the Monsterverse collection before Godzilla X Kong. So it's this padded to hell steelbook set. Godzilla 4K, Godzilla Kong Skull Island 4K, they've all got Blu-rays as well. King of the Monsters and Godzilla X Kong. All of them are color-coded and specifically have specific looks to them, all padded in with distinct looks as well. You know, a shot from the movie, kind of shot from the movie that's stylized. Again, all 4K Blu-rays. Do I plan to sell this set? Probably not, because it comes with the 4Ks of all of them, especially Kong, which I think I did actually watch on 4K when I did my rewatch maybe a year ago or something. But yeah, same as this one as well. They're not bad. Again, I was really big into steelbooks back when, and this was just a really nice set to have at the time. And it's just, sure, why not? They are pretty. It's crazy. So that's it. That is every single Godzilla thing, to my knowledge, to what I can recall, that I have. I can't think of anything else that I would have. Potentially more t-shirts buried somewhere in my closet full of t-shirts. But yeah, so as someone who has grown up to a degree with Godzilla, the 98 one and Destroying Monsters, so that's how you know I have that perfect dichotomy. The worst American movie of the Godzilla films ever made, and one of the best of the Showa era ever made, as a childhood favorite. And the thing is, because the Japanese one was Japanese, obviously, I had to watch it with subtitles, and most of the time, I don't think we even watched it with subtitles. I think I just watched it for the monsters, and I'm pretty sure it was Destroying Monsters, despite the fact that when I rewatched Destroying Monsters, I'm like, I don't remember most of this, and that's the weirdest part. I don't remember most of that movie. Like, when I rewatched it last year for my whole, Showa era binge, I didn't remember most of the movie, and I was thinking, maybe I watched a different movie when I was growing up. I don't know. I think the thing is that I confused it with Thunderbirds. I was thinking of all these miniatures of opening doors and shit. None of that was Godzilla. I think I was just thinking of fucking Thunderbirds or something. But still, I still had seen that film because I remember having the DVD growing up. So yeah. But knowing that all these years later, I'm still watching and constantly buying Godzilla-themed stuff. My friends love Godzilla. We all have a passion for Godzilla. Yeah, Godzilla's fucking awesome. There's so much Godzilla stuff out there, and like in terms of figurines, Blu-rays, and physical media, comic books, and everything. That there's always stuff to do. There's always stuff to play, video game wise, everything. Always stuff to read, constant books and everything. So my collection is not that big in contrast to what already exists. If you look at all the toys and stuff you can buy, this is nothing. But I still take a lot of pride in the value of what I have, despite the fact that I'm, again, trying to sell some of it off, just those big pop vinyls and that one premium Manta Lab. But aside from that, I love these movies. I love the Japanese ones. I love the American ones, not the 98 one, but the other ones. Like, I know how to have fun with it. I know when the films should be taken more seriously. Like, it's such a juxtaposition to go from all the late-stage Showa era stuff, where it's all, like, trying to set up TV shows for kids with Jet Jaguar, and then the next film is just Verse Hedorah, and it's the most brutal, fucked up movie you'll ever watch. And it's like, this is great. I love Godzilla. He just kills everyone. It's great. I love it. I love watching people in suits running around smacking each other in the face, but I also like giant CGI monsters fighting. I'm very easily won over by both versions. I have my preferences. People in rubber suits smacking each other in the face. It's fucking hilarious. But at the same time, I like both. So, yeah. Anyway, that's it for now. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you to that subscriber for suggesting this video. It was really fun to dive into everything that I have. At least I still look around thinking that I'm missing something, but I guess I'll never know, or I've edited it in post awkwardly. Anyway, thanks. See you next time. Adios. Oh, you son of a bitch. I knew I'd forgotten something. Actually, there is one more thing. This is on the top of my shelf. It's a snow globe. Wow, I bought this at Minotaur. You can buy it in Japan. It was actually imported from Japan. But it's just it's a snow globe. Man, look at how crystal clear that is. It's just a big Godzilla head. It's very dusty. Yeah, that's all. It's just a Godzilla head. Bye.